So I just recently purchased this used iMac G4 from the early 2000s, and I've never actually used Mac OS 9.2, and it took a while to get this repaired to the point where I could boot. I actually had to take a DVD drive out of another old computer that I had. I had to get a new power cord for the system, and really just needed a bit of a cleaning inside. I still have to do a little bit on the outside. But what I'm curious of, now that I have 9.2.2 installed on this, which was a lot more work than I had expected, but I'm glad that we have it working, is what does this 20-year-old iMac, what can it do if I put it online right now? So what I have done is I've got a long Ethernet cable that is plugged into my switch, and I'm going to plug it in, and we're going to see what happens. Now, I've never used Mac OS 9, so this is pretty new to me, so I might get a few things wrong, but what I am curious of is if I go to network browser, local area network, so nothing's showing up right now, but let's plug this in and see what happens. Oh, I know what I want to check before. I think that there's something called TCP/IP in here. Yeah, so let's do that. And we'll see if these numbers switch live when I plug this in, or if I have to restart the computer. Okay, so we're plugged in, and no updates so far. Oh, there we go. Actually, so it updated itself. So I wasn't even sure if the airport or the Ethernet was working on this. And some of my terminology, especially with these old iMacs, might be mixed up on this video, but I'm very curious to now see how this works. So again, I spent a tiny bit of time taking a look at a few things on here. So we've got internet. This is about setting up your personal, your email, your web. Live page, apple.com, and excite.com. That's funny. So, and default web browser is Microsoft Internet Explorer. So that's interesting. Yeah, I guess Safari didn't exist then. I might come back to this later, although default home pages. So it's very interesting that you set these very separately of everything else. So I don't think there's anything else in control panel that I really want to take a look at. Well, let's go to network browser to see if it recognizes any of the computers on the network. So I do have a few Macs, some Windows machines, and a few other things on here, but let's just see if any of them pop up here. I'm not expecting anything. 2 items. Apple Talk Network. Okay, yeah, nothing. Not unexpected. But now let's take a look at. So let's go to favorites. So apple.com. So let's click on that. Let's see what comes up. So Internet Explorer. Oh, that loaded very quickly. That's the one thing I have noticed with this. I think it has 512 megabytes of RAM, and it's been really snappy. Just the 15 minutes I've been playing with it. About balloon help. Internet Explorer help. Yeah, it's not the easiest to know how to get certain versions from this Microsoft Mactopia security failure. So yeah, this is kind of what I was expecting, where I'm very little confused with some of the web browser components here. Is that gonna make it big? No. Okay, let's just do this. Let's check MSN. Let's just see if it loads without HTTP. Oh! Interesting. Okay. So it is loading. So not using HTTPS because this old browser, and I run into this all the time with old operating systems, the browsers are not compatible with HTTPS, so you're not going to be accessing that. But it did load kind of a very basic page with some images. It's not bringing in the stylized text, so we get a lot of very out of context images, which is very interesting. From MSN, let's just check Apple support. No. Let's go to, I think, because I did this on a Windows 95 computer that I did something similar. So Google. So we got google.com, because they want this to load on older systems as well. And so yeah, we got some strange styling here, but nothing too concerning. Let's just check Yeah, certain things are really going to require you to have the HTTPS, but we're on a 20-year-old Mac, iMac. Let's just see. Oh, Internet Explorer. So it's 5.1 for Mac. So then how do I get... I just want to bring up the stats on the computer, but I'm not going to worry about that. So anyways, let's just see if this will load. So if I just search Apple. Yeah, so not secure. Warning from Google. So we get ads. So that's kind of funny. Look at what this looks like. And I am planning on doing some more videos with this old iMac as well as a couple of older Macs I'm hoping to get sooner than later. This is not primarily going to be a Macintosh focused channel by any means. It's going to primarily be Windows, but yeah, let's check Wikipedia. No, requires that. Apple Education. The other thing with MSN is that I actually got my location right. So it's using the IP address lookup to know that I'm in London, Ontario in Canada, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so I don't think that there's going to be too much that we can do with this. But what I am interested in doing is let's check to see if we can do a software update. I have a feeling that I'm going to have to do this via some USB sticks as far as updating. I am planning on keeping this iMac with version 9.2.2 and on other Macs probably more of like the early OS X. Just knowing that I am familiar with OS X. I think I started, my first MacBook was 10.4, which is Tiger. So I'm not as interested in that, but I am very interested in checking some of these older ones. So checking for available software. Yeah, your software doesn't need updating. Whether that's because the image file that I used was up to date or not, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, definitely, you know what, I might try 9.2.1 at some point and then just see if it can upgrade to 9.2.2 with that. Yeah, it's such a strange new thing for me to explore with this being accessible or being able to access the internet. Yeah, I can't get used to the 9.2.2 or probably pretty much any Mac OS prior to 10 or OS X. Yeah, very, very interesting. Are there any other things that we want to try here? It does have a modem in it, so there is that 56K internal modem that I don't have any plans or desire. I have been grabbing Ethernet adapters for all my old computers just so I can easily throw them on to the switch just for some very low risk browsing of the net, knowing that's not very secure. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I really want to check here. Apple Talk, I think that's to communicate with other devices. So yeah, let's just go back to that internet piece. So yeah, this is kind of cool. And you know what? I want to actually see if Excite works. So yeah, let's even see how search works. So is that going to come up? No, it's going right to that Apple News. Yeah, it's trying to go to the address. I want to figure out how to... Oh, search. Internet Explorer 6 search companion is no longer supported. Search anytime on Bing. So I'm not quite sure why the Excite was showing up as that, but let's just try Excite. It's loading something. Oh yeah, and you get the animated E. So cool. Yeah, I'm finding this very neat to play around with, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. That's about it for this one. If you have any other things that you'd like me to play around with on this older iMac, again, I think it's from 2001, 2002. It's the G4 700 megahertz, 512 megabytes of RAM, and with Mac OS 9.2.2. So if you have anything else, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to put out some more videos that are requested. And if not, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And thanks for watching.